So lads, I mean this when I say this. I want all the Stephanie White apologists to come out. Because it's very, very clear that Stephanie White is not the right coach for Caitlin Clark. I don't mean this when I say it.
So listen up, because it's time to stop sugarcoating what's become painfully obvious. Stephanie White is not the right coach for Caitlin Clark. And no, this isn't about discrediting her coaching credentials. Let's be clear. Stephanie White is a solid coach, proven by her ability to win the Commissioner's Cup with the roster she had. No one's saying she doesn't know basketball.
I don't think Stephanie White's a bad coach. In fact, I think Stephanie White's a really good coach. The fact that she was able to pull off a Commissioner's Cup win with the roster that they had, she is a great coach. We are not going to slander Stephanie White's ability to coach right here, but we are going.
But knowing basketball and knowing how to coach Caitlin Clark are two different things. This is no longer speculation. This is fact. The woman who was supposed to unleash one of the most electrifying offensive talents women's basketball has ever seen has instead put her in shackles, literal offensive handcuffs. What if I told you the greatest shooter in women's basketball was told to stop shooting while she was on fire? Not just told, coached out of it. Caitlin Clark herself confirmed it. The bombshell has dropped, and now the fan base is in chaos. Why would any coach, let alone one with a weapon like Clark, try to contain her? Why limit her range, her freedom, her rhythm? The logic behind this approach is non-existent. It's sabotage disguised as strategy. Let's talk specifics. Caitlin Clark was lighting it up against the Liberty, 5 threes in one half. She was on an all-time heater, the kind of rhythm you don't interrupt, you ride until the wheels fall off. But then, inexplicably, she stopped shooting.
The cat is out the bag, man. Now I told y'all, I was one of the first people to let it be known. Head coach Stephanie White is so against Caitlin Clark. It's clear as day, and it's very much clear as day that this front office dropped the ball in hiring her.
Not because the defense locked her down, not because she cooled off. No, because she was told to. This is real. It's not just a narrative. She admitted it on a podcast. As a shooter, she said, when you hit 2 or 3 in a row, you fire up another. That's the rhythm. That's what scorers do. But she hinted that her coaching staff was advising against it, advising against greatness. That's like telling Steph Curry to take a back seat during a third-quarter explosion. That's like telling Serena not to serve hard in the final set. Why draft a nuclear weapon and then ask it to act like a paperweight? Caitlin Clark isn't built to facilitate a slow, grinding offense. She's not a decoy. She's not a passive participant. She is the show. She is the system. But Stephanie White seems determined to force her into a motion offense that erases what makes her special. It's system over talent, and that's the problem. We didn't come here to watch the Indiana Fever play decent basketball. We came to watch Caitlin Clark pull from the logo, break the internet, and drag her team into the spotlight. But instead, she's being neutered, reduced to a player that's just part of the machine, not the engine itself. Let's take it a step further. This offense isn't just boring, it's dysfunctional.
To be Caitlin Clark coach, I'm telling you right now, Stephanie White do not want Caitlin Clark to shoot the ball. It's clear as day. She want to run this motion offense, and quite frankly, Caitlin either need to get the hell out of Indy or the front office need to make it.
The Fever had a double-digit lead while Clark was shooting 2 for 9. That proves they don't even need her to be efficient to be dangerous. But instead of leaning into her strengths, they lean away. They treat her like a risk when she's the reward. Let's talk about the fans. Indiana didn't just draft a player, they drafted a movement. Millions of fans, sold-out arenas, exploding merchandise sales, all driven by the Caitlin Clark effect. But somehow, the one person who doesn't seem on board is her coach. That's right. Stephanie White is coaching like Caitlin's presence is an inconvenience. You don't get generational talent and respond with, let's run more dribble handoffs. You throw out the old playbook and write a new one around her. You build, not contain. Right now, Caitlin Clark is surviving the system, not thriving in it. That's a problem, and it gets worse. Every time she starts to heat up, she's benched. The playbook shifts, the offense reroutes. It's like they're scared of her success. It's as if every highlight is followed by a timeout, a reset, a cooling off period.
Let's take a listen to this. This is, by the way, during the New York Liberty game. This is during the New York Liberty game. During the Liberty game. Let's take a listen. Or, well, sorry, not during, about the Liberty game. This is the game where Caitlin Clark hit.
That's not basketball, that's sabotage. That's a coach more interested in proving a point than winning games. Here's the truth. Clark didn't come to the WNBA to learn how to be safe. She came to dominate. She came to change the game. But you can't change the game when your own team is terrified of letting you try. And don't tell me it's about development. Caitlin Clark isn't a project. She's plug and play. She's ready now. Every game they waste trying to mold her into something safer is a game they lose in more ways than one. It's a disservice to her, the team, and the fans. This coaching staff needs to stop acting like they're managing a kindergarten recital. This is professional basketball. Let Clark cook. Every possession should revolve around freeing her up. Screens, high pick and roll, off-ball movement tailored to her. Yet what do we see? A stagnant system, a confused identity. Teammates not named Caitlin Clark trying to run the offense while she stands in the corner. The whole offense should function around her gravity. Every screen should be for her. Every defender that doubles her should be punished with an easy assist or a wide-open cutter.
This is the game where Caitlin was on like an all-time heater and then randomly she just stopped shooting. Like that is the thing. That is the thing that happened. She randomly just stopped shooting while she was on an all-time heater. She was on.
Let's not act like this is a complicated puzzle. The solution is staring them in the face. Let Caitlin Clark be Caitlin Clark. That's the tweet. That's the headline. That's the billboard. Because if you're not going to let her play her game, what's the point? Why draft her at all? Draft a role player. Draft someone who fits into your safe little system. But if you're going to bring in the storm, let her thunder. Let her shoot. Let her lead. Otherwise, every game becomes a missed opportunity. You don't water down Picasso and then complain the painting lacks color. That's exactly what Stephanie White is doing, coaching the color out of the game. And fans aren't stupid. They see it. Every clip that goes viral isn't a perfectly executed half-court set. It's Clark going rogue, pulling up from 30 feet, making magic happen. Those moments explode because they're raw, real, and rare. That's the problem. They should be regular, but instead, they're anomalies. The Fever are shackling their superstar with a system from 2003 and pretending like it's cutting edge. This isn't just a basketball failure, it's a branding disaster. You're not just losing games, you're losing momentum, losing the fans, losing the narrative. Other coaches are salivating, watching this train wreck unfold, knowing what they'd do with a player like Caitlin. Coaches who'd empower her, coaches who'd run everything through her, coaches who'd understand the gift they were handed.
Film breakdown prepared today, but I'm actually going to go a different direction. This is a rant because we have to talk about the state of this Indiana Fever team, and I'm here to bring the reality to all you Fever fans. This team is not a championship team. They're not a championship team. They're nowhere near close to a championship team because every team that is a championship team can...
Because this is no longer about play calling. It's about identity. And right now the Fever don't have one. They've got a generational star playing in a system that's allergic to risk. They've got a coach who's treating Clark like a threat, not an asset. Why? Ego, insecurity, control. Whatever it is, it's holding everyone back. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She's not a piece of the puzzle. She is the puzzle. You build around her, not next to her, not in spite of her, around her. You don't tell the sun to dim so the candles can shine. And the longer this goes on, the louder the calls will get. The fan base is turning. Social media is ablaze. Sports media is circling. The headlines are writing themselves. Clark versus White. Who has to go? And let's be honest, we already know the answer. You don't trade the sun for a flashlight. Stephanie White's system is failing. Not because it's inherently broken, but because it was never designed for a player like Caitlin. And instead of adapting, she's doubling down.
That's like the farthest of their problems. Their offense looked really bad today, and Caitlin Clark obviously didn't shoot the basketball well, but I'm not going to blame this loss on Caitlin Clark, even though obviously they would have won if she would have shot the ball well. My whole thing is, you were up when Caitlin Clark wasn't shooting the ball well. You had a double-digit lead in that first.
Clinging to a philosophy that smothers the very thing that could save her job. If your offense isn't built around Caitlin Clark, tear it up and start over. Because trying to fit her into your system is like trying to Photoshop a wildfire. It doesn't work. The flames won't sit still. They weren't meant to. Let her burn bright. Let her light up arenas. That's what she does. And let's talk about leadership. A great coach doesn't force the game to bend to their will. They adjust. They watch, listen, and evolve. You think Phil Jackson walked into Chicago and told Michael Jordan to shoot less? No. He built a framework and let MJ flourish within it. That's coaching. That's leadership. That's how you win titles. Right now, Stephanie White isn't leading. She's controlling. And it's killing the vibe. It's killing the chemistry. It's killing the season. And it's killing Clark's potential. The coaching staff keeps saying, "We're building something." No, you're not. You're dismantling it. Brick by brick. Missed opportunity by missed opportunity. And fans are done waiting.
Caitlin Clark, man. Now, Caitlin Clark went on Super Podcast and dropped major gems, bro. She let it be known that Stephanie White do not want her to shoot threes. Yes, this is not clickbait. Oh, my goodness, guys.
This isn't year 3 of a rebuild. This is year 1 of a revolution. You don't tell the face of the league to take a back seat. You put her in the driver's seat and you let her rip. You don't tell Caitlin Clark to be passive. You tell her to be legendary, because that's the bar, that's the expectation, that's the standard. And here's the kicker. While Stephanie White is busy trying to transform Caitlin into a system player, Tyler Marsh is down in Chicago doing the opposite. He's turning Angel Reese into a star, building her confidence, putting the ball in her hands, letting her shine. So while one coach is creating a highlight reel, another is editing theirs in post, trying to remove the fireworks. It's laughable. It's insulting. It's coaching malpractice. Caitlin Clark isn't a role player. She's not a decoy. She's the point guard, the engine, the epicenter of modern offense. And she's being told to go stand in the corner? That's like asking Steve Nash to play off-ball while Quentin Richardson brings it up. It's ridiculous. The offense should start and end with her. The pick should come at the top. The spacing should flow from her gravity. 2 defenders will follow her no matter what. That alone creates advantage. That alone breaks down defenses. That alone should dictate every offensive possession. But instead, we get dribble handoffs and motion sets designed for players who couldn't crack the starting 5 on any other tee.
I feel like as a shooter, like when you see like 2 or 3 go in, for me, like if I have 2 back-to-back in a row, like I'm probably gonna launch a third that maybe isn't advised by
For
Steph,
sure.
but like I gotta get it up. And then if the third goes in, like you're just hot. I think as a